Hi everyone, my name is Salia Van Nuland. I am a TM certified breathing coach, and I would like to give you guys a 1 hour lesson on breathing and begin by telling you that we were all born horizontal and perfectly anatomically congruous breathers. And unfortunately, somewhere along the way, our breathing comes off and we all adopt. Most of us adopt wrong breathing styles or wrong breathing habits, and and I'll show you guys quickly how anatomically correct horizontal breathing works. It works in the around the whole circumference of the middle of our bodies, and by the expansion of the middle of our body and the contraction of our body. I'll show it again from the side. This is what it looks like. I'll just lift my hands up so you can have a better look around my torso. And I'm going to inhale, expand, and exhale, contract. As you might have noticed, my shoulders and my neck are not engaged in breathing, as shoulder and neck muscles are not supposed to be our regular breathing muscles. So the different breathing styles we accumulate are vertical breathing. This is the most common breathing. Almost 9 out of 10 adults is breathing in a vertical breathing style, and it looks something like this. Then there is also the paradoxical breather. This is a breather that inhales air and tucks in the tummy, and exhales and the tummy roots out. And then there is different breathing styles. Some people, they hold their breath. This would be an hypoxic breather. So that goes, and then they don't ever exhale ever for a long time. And all of these breathing styles are very unhealthy for our body because there is not a balanced oxygen inhale and oxygen exhale. So every breathing class, we begin with an assessment of your breathing IQ, figure out what breathing style you're breathing in, and measure the flexibility of your respiration in your thoracic cavity. We'd give you a breathing IQ, so you know you can have a grade that you start with. You have a baseline to begin with, and then we would work from there. Do exercises first to strengthen the most important breathing muscle, which is our diaphragm. And our diaphragm is located right smack in the center of the body. It separates our upper torso from our abdomen, and we would learn where the diaphragm is exactly located. So it's when you tap your sternum, it's this bony, straight bone right in the center of your body, breastbone, and then you walk alongside your rib cage. You tuck under a bit, and you walk further all the way back, and that's where your diaphragm is located, and it's connected in the back to your spine through ligaments. So I have this little diaphragm model. It's a vegetable steamer, but it works perfectly as a diaphragm model because this is how a diaphragm is located in the center of a body. And on an inhale, the diaphragm's job is to expand. It's a muscle, right? It's the most important breathing muscle in our body. And on an inhale, it expands into this pizza-shaped muscle, really straightening and widening out 14 centimeters to the sides, pushing our rib cages out to the side on an inhale. That's why it flattens into this pizza-shaped strong muscle. And on an exhale, it relaxes back under our rib cage. While it does that, while it flattens 12, 14 centimeters out to the side, it also drops 10 centimeters down and puts a gentle pressure down here onto our intestines and our organs and helps with digestion. So every time we inhale, the diaphragm flattens, pushes down, and something very important happens throughout this process as well. Our diaphragm has our nervous system going right through it. It's the vagus nerve. Vagus is Latin and it stands for wandering, and this is what this nervous system does. It has two parts. It wanders throughout our whole body, really being up for our benefit 24/7, protecting us. And the second part of it is a stem cell, a cranial stem cell that goes from the center of our brain through the diaphragm, this is my diaphragm, into our gut. Okay? That's also where our gut instinct comes from. And every time we breathe with the diaphragm, the vagus nerve is being pulled and put into a parasympathetic state of arousal. Parasympathetic is our rest and digest state of arousal, as opposed to being in a fight and flight, which when we breathe in a vertical breathing style, just by lifting the shoulders and engaging the shoulders and necks, our nervous system thinks that we're in danger, and our heart rate goes up, our blood pressure goes up, inflammation goes up in the body, cortisol and adrenaline is being released, and our immunity goes down, and we're in a fight and flight state of arousal. Just because we're engaging shoulders and neck, fight and flight is being activated by our nervous system, and by breathing low and horizontally, expanding in the middle of the body and contracting again, we can shift our nervous system back into rest and digest, where it should be all the time. That's when our heart rate is nice and low, blood pressure is nice and low, immunity is very, very strong and being boosted, and inflammation is being eliminated out of the body. Also, digestion is being promoted on a horizontal breath. So when you suffer from constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, acid reflux, GERD, any sort of digestive issues, you can eliminate by learning how to breathe horizontally again. And because the diaphragm is connected to the spine and the back, every time you breathe, if this is my spine and this is the diaphragm, every time you breathe, the spine gets a nice little gentle push with the diaphragm. Every time you breathe horizontally, that is. And every time the spine gets a nice gentle push, spinal fluid can move upwards and downwards throughout the whole vertebrae, which is very healthy. If you don't breathe with your diaphragm and your diaphragm just sits here, and this is my spine, and you just breathe vertically, lifting your shoulders up and down all the time, then your spine is rigid. There is no movement in between the vertebrae, and it's much more prone to inflammations, and you'll accumulate back pain in anywhere of your spine. So the diaphragm also, through the circulation of blood, through the circulation of oxygenated rich blood in the body, promotes our lymphatic drainage system, which is our detoxification system in our body. So it changes as well throughout the balance of CO2 and oxygen coming in and out of the body balanced, our pH level in our body. So if we are too acidic, we can balance it out and come back to a neutral state in our blood pH, which means that inflammations will be kept at bay or even eliminated. Oxygen is cell fuel, meaning that we need it to be present in our cells to 99%, in every cell, to 99% at all times. And if this is not the case, illnesses and diseases will make their space into our cells, and that's how they get accumulated. Meaning, every illness and disease begins with the lack of oxygen on cellular level. Now, Um, let's go about the breathing exercises. We can begin with the first exercise, which is called rock and roll. And I'm going to demonstrate the exercise first. Uh, in the first breathing class, we're really trying to pay attention to strengthen the breathing muscles first. If the diaphragm hasn't been used because of wrong breathing style, of vertical breathing or paradoxical breathing, then it's downright weak. Okay? The reason why we need the diaphragm to be strong is because while it pushes our lungs out to the side, it vacuum sucks oxygen to the largest parts of our lungs that are located back here. Okay? That's where we want to get the breath to. Our lungs are straight cone shaped, and the smallest parts of the lungs are up here, and the largest parts of the lungs, they're back here. And that's where we want to get the oxygen in, because lung function peaks at age 29, and after that it decreases, especially after the age of 29. We need to be exercising our lungs on a regular basis. So we want to strengthen the breathing muscles in the first class, and usually also all of the information that I gave, I'll be engaging the client, asking them questions such as, do you know which one is the most important breathing muscle in our body? Do you know where it is located? All of those questions just to engage the client, so it's not just like in, me doing a self-talk forever. So the first exercise, let's get to the exercises, is called rock and roll. We're gonna do all of the exercises throughout our mouth, because in our breathing classes, we're trying to increase our lung capacity as well, strengthen our breathing muscles, increase our lung capacity, and increase the elasticity of our lungs. Okay, all of the lung tissue that has died away or has not been used for a long time for different reasons, such as wrong breathing styles, for example, lung tissue that's just been hanging out here gets now boosted. Okay, gets really energized again and made into a very strong bit of matter for ourselves. So first exercise is called the rock and roll, and I'm going to demonstrate all exercises first, and then I'll engage the client as well. In this exercise, we're sitting in the front part of the chair, sitting on our sitting bones basically. And we're keeping a nice straight spine, legs are hip distance apart, feet are flat on the floor, so you have a steady start, and it's called rock and roll. We're gonna rock forward on an inhale, expand in the middle of our body, and then roll back, exhale all the way out, belly button to spine. I'm going to lift my arms so you can have a bit of a better look into my lower body. We're trying to really focus not to engage shoulders and neck, and we want to guide the breath down to our belly. So we're expanding around the whole circumference, belly goes out on an inhale, okay? So we're going to inhale. You can also put your hands on your belly if that's easier for you. I'll put my hands up so you can have a better look. I'm going to inhale, rock forward, really expand, right? And then exhale, roll back. And squeeze all the way out, belly button to spine. Inhale, belly goes out. You create a little bit of a curve in the spine. And exhale, squeeze all the air out, belly button to spine. And you roll the tailbone under, basically, okay? This is a rock and roll. Inhale, rock forward, expand, and exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward, exhale, roll back. So this would be our starter exercise, and we would also close with this exercise again. Usually when we're introducing the second exercise laying on the floor, depending who we're working with, how old the client is, how comfortable the client is with going on the floor. Some people just want to work on the floor, seated and laying down. I'm going to demonstrate this exercise on the floor for you. In any case, it's an important exercise to learn. And I'll put this one on my tummy. You can also put something heavy on your tummy if you want, actually. I have a bit of a weight here, so maybe I'll use this weight as a tool. So you're coming into flat laying down on your back, into Shavasana it's called in yoga, or also dead body pose. And you're really relaxed, palms are facing up, neck and jaw is relaxed, and the feet are flapping out to either side. And then you're going to inhale and lift the belly button up to the ceiling on an inhale by creating a curve in the back, in the lower back. So I'm going to inhale. And I'm creating a big bridge so that my hands are actually fitting through. And then I'm going to exhale. Lower the weight, lower my belly button to the spine. Spine is straight on the floor, and there is no way for my hand to fit through. So lower spine really gets pushed on the floor, and the pelvic is being engaged, the buttocks is being engaged, the glutes are being engaged. Exhale all the way out, and really guide the breath down in the body, okay, to the belly button, by not engaging and paying attention not to engage the upper body. So inhale, all the way up, create a little bridge in the lower back, and exhale. Okay, spine is straight on the floor, pelvic floor is engaged. So we're rolling also our pelvis front and back in this exercise. Okay, so one more time. This exercise is called diaphragm extensions. We're extending our diaphragm out and about by concentrating the breath down and really keeping the shoulders and the neck still. Inhale. Belly button goes up. A bridge is created. Exhale. Spine straight on the floor. Pelvic floor is engaged. Belly button to spine. Exhale all the way. This is our diaphragm extension exercise. It's a beautiful exercise also for low back pain and for the spine health in general. So we would do, for example, we would do a whole exercise regime of numbers of exercises that I'm going to give at the end of the class, actually. So the next exercise we're going to try and strengthen our intercostal muscles, pardon me. Our intercostal muscles are breathing muscles as well. So if the most important breathing muscles are diaphragm, the intercostal muscles are the next to that. They are the little bit of flesh, the little bit of muscle matter that's in between each rib cage, okay? That little bit of flesh that we like to eat when we like to eat spare ribs. Some of us do. And on an inhale, they widen. On an exhale, they tighten. They're very important exhalation muscles of ours as well. And we want to bring more flexibility and space into our rib cage for the diaphragm to expand out. If you have been breathing vertically for a long time, or you're bracing somewhere in your body, that's also something that we all do. We all have a bracing mechanism. It's our brake mechanism, basically. It's our protection mechanism. So when we are scared, we all go somewhere in our body, we're holding tension, which is very important for dangerous situations. But some of us, unfortunately, forget when to unbrace. And they hold the bracing stand the whole day, and then the breathing is, of course, suffocated because of that. And there is no flexibility in their body. A lot of times people will brace here in the middle of their bodies. But we all have different places where we brace. I, for example, tend to brace in my shoulders. When I get scared or something, I go up here. And if I'm not aware of it, I stay like this the whole day. I keep that tension the whole day. So it's important to be aware in our bodies, where in my body am I bracing? This is also something we cover throughout a class. We're asking the client, where in your body are you bracing? And also, very importantly, when did you become a vertical breather or a paradoxical breather? When did your breathing shift? What happened? Usually it happens at the age of 5 or approximately around there. But also it could be a wrong tumble in childhood, it could be an injury, a surgery, it could be a traumatic experience, because think about it, if you're a paradoxical breather, paradoxical breathing works like this, as I showed earlier, and if you get scared, we do this, right? We do this, and on an inhale, we get scared, and if we're not aware of it, the breath stays there. And we start breathing in on our inhale and breathing out again on the exhale. So our breathing shifts from a normal, healthy breathing to an unhealthy breathing. So it's important to kind of understand when it happened. It helps with the process, but generally, if you do breathing exercises, if you train the horizontal breath for about 2 weeks usually, your breathing will shift back in its original state, into the state which you were supposed to be breathing in, right? A horizontal breath. So that's the good news, okay? It won't take years and years of exercising. It just takes a daily exercise of about 2 weeks to shift the breathing back down to the lower part of our body, and bring mobility into the whole body with the breath, but not vertically. So this next exercise, the intercostal stretch, we want to exercise stretching our rib cage, and for this exercise we come to sit straight in the middle of a chair, legs are again hip distance apart. I'm going to drape one arm over, straight, try and keep a straight head. Okay, try and bring the armpit, the bicep as close to the ear as possible, and try not to do this one or this one too much or to lean forward. So tuck the chin under, so the chin stays straight, and then we're going to inhale into the side body, and I'm going to inhale, go. You want to guide the breath into your rib cage to create more space. And then we're going to exhale. And you have your other arm to support you. And we're doing 4 inhales and exhales on each side. So we're going to inhale number 2. Make sure that the majority of your stretch doesn't come from the armpit, but rather from your rib cage. And then we're going to exhale again. Inhale and exhale. And again, make sure not to bend forward, but keep a nice straight spine. And we're going to inhale again. Inhale and exhale. And then we roll the shoulders back, roll them front. They have nothing to do with breathing. And we do the same on the other side. I'm going to inhale into the side body, into the intercostals, and exhale all the way up. Inhale. And exhale. Belly button to spine. Inhale. Really stretch and expand into the side body and exhale, belly button to spine. So forearm each side and then roll back the shoulders, front and back. Intercostal muscles being very important breathing muscles. We want to exercise our breathing muscles in our first breathing class. And in the next breathing classes, we're going to maximize our inhalations and maximize our exhalations to create more vital lung capacity and more velocity, which is elasticity of the lung tissue. And then we're going to do the spinal twist exercise next. This is a beautiful exercise for spine health as well. We're basically twisting the spine into each direction, into the opposite directions on the top and on the bottom. It's a 4 inhale and 4 exhale based exercise that works on both sides of our body, once to the left and once to the right. And you come to sit comfortably in the middle of your chair. Legs are again hip distance apart, feet are flat on the floor. Your right arm goes diagonally onto the opposite knee, and then the left arm is supporting so you have a straight spine. Important again to pay attention not to engage your shoulders and neck on an inhale. We're going to do 4 inhales and 4 exhales on either side. So here, if this is 100%, we're going to do increments, intervals of 25% of an inhale and exhale and twist 25%. Inhale again, exhale and twist another 25%. Inhale again, exhale and twist 25%. Inhale again, exhale, twist, and look yourself over the shoulder. I'll be demonstrating all the exercises at first. First one is inhale, low in the body. Okay, notice the expansion of my abdomen and the circumference of my lower body. And exhale, 25%. Inhale, expand, breathe low in the body, and exhale, another 25. Inhale, and exhale, all the way out, squeeze belly button to spine. Last one, inhale, and exhale. All the way around, exhale, belly button to spine, come to the center again, roll the shoulders back, and really pay attention not to engage shoulders and neck in this exercise, okay? And really just guide the breath down. We're doing the same on the other side. Inhale, low in the body, exhale, twist 25%, inhale, and exhale, squeeze and narrow all the way out. Inhale, stay low on the inhale, expand, belly button goes out, and exhale, twist, last one. Inhale, expand, exhale, twist all the way around. Spinal twist, really healthy for spine health, but also on every inhale, we flood oxygen-rich blood down to our organs, right in here, on inhale, and then on exhale, we squeeze it all out and bring it all out. So on an inhale, we can oxygenate again with fresh blood. So our organs really get a really nice set of fresh oxygenated blood pushed through them in this beautiful exercise. The next exercise we're going to do is a cat and cow, as you know it from yoga. This exercise is beautifully done on the floor. It's a beautiful exercise for spine health as well. But it's also very easily done on the desk for people that don't like to get on the floor for different reasons. So on an inhale, it works like this. You drop the belly down on an inhale, push the coccyx, the tailbone up to the sky. Look to the sky, take air from the sky, and exhale. Round the spine, tuck the tailbone under, and exhale all the way out, belly button to spine. Look yourself to the belly button. Inhale. And exhale. And we can also do this exercise on the floor. And this is what it looks like when you do it on the floor. From the back so you see me well. Gravity is your friend in this exercise. So you want to make sure to have your arms, your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then I'm going to inhale. Take air from the sky, expand the belly, okay? The belly gets really heavy, full of air, and exhale. All the way out, round the back of the spine, push it up to the ceiling, tailbone is tucked under, and inhale again, and exhale. So we're going into cow on an inhale in yoga, and on a cat, exhale. This is cat and cow in yoga, and it's a beautiful exercise for spine health and back health, but also, of course, breathing, muscle strengthening, and oxygenating. So next exercise would be a back breath. If you do this exercise seated, here again, feet are flat on the floor, legs are hip distance apart, and weight just fold over. To breathe into our backs, to get a sensation for the lungs that are located in the back, I'm going to inhale and exhale. Inhale. Expand. Feel our lungs expand and exhale. Feel our rib cage and our lungs contract and narrow. So this exercise is called child's pose in yoga. And this is what it looks like when you do it on the floor. You're going to just sit on your heels comfortably. If this is uncomfortable, you can also put blankets in between. Okay, you can also open your legs a little wider. It's very important that you're comfortable in all of the exercises that we're doing. Of course, they're going to engage your muscles, and if you haven't used them in a while, it's going to feel a little bit intense. And breathing exercises are exercises for strengthening our breathing muscles. You will get better ab muscles and better core muscles by doing breathing exercises. So they're exercises after all, but just make sure your joints are not in extreme pain. So this exercise is the back breath, and I'm going to lean forward and be very rested in a child's pose. My forehead is on the floor, and on an inhale, I'm going to feel the back of my lungs expand out to the sides, and exhale, narrow and contract. Inhale, expand, and exhale, We're doing this breath again for two reasons. We're doing it for the client to create awareness and consciousness to the breathing muscles or to their lungs again, where they're located, how it feels, how they're supposed to be expanding, but also because when we breathe folded forward, we can actually create more of a sensation for our lungs. So people can feel where they're located. If you do 10 of these every day, inhale and exhale. They're a very nice calming breath. This is the back breath, or also child's pose in yoga. And we would do a last two exercises. One would be Kapalabhati breath, which is breath of fire in yoga, but Dr. Belisa calls it candle blows. And you imagine it's your birthday and you're blowing off your birthday candles, and your exhale really shoots across the room. Like, it needs to be a very strong, sharp exhalation. This is an exhalation exercise. We're exercising our exhalation muscles in this exercise, and these are very strong, sharp exhalations, abdominal exhalations, by engaging the diaphragm. And we're actually only concentrating on the exhale. We're not concentrating on inhaling in this exercise. We're only concentrating on exhaling. I'm going to turn to the side so you can get a better view. Probably better. And if this is my cake, I'm going to try and show you guys. I'm going to lift this arm away so you have a better look on my abdomen, and you want to make sure, again, not to engage your shoulders and your neck. So it goes like this. So you can also put your hands on your abdomen and exhale, 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 exhale. So these are very strong, sharp exhalations, and we're supposed to do 50 of them as grown-ups every day. This is a very energizing exercise. You shouldn't do this exercise if you suffer high blood pressure, or if you're in later stages of your pregnancy. Most of the breathing exercises, some of the breathing exercises might get you a little lightheaded sometimes, a little dizzy. That's nothing to worry about. That's just oxygen being introduced to your cells in an amount that hasn't been there before, or for a long time, not before, for a long time. So it's like an oxygen boost that gives you a little bit of a dizziness. And Dr. Belisa says is a quick legal high. Enjoy it. And the last exercise that I usually do with clients is, again, the rock and roll breath, but with a tactile counting breath to it, to calm the nervous system, so they know how to calm their nervous system whenever they feel too excited or stressed out or anxious. So you can put your hands on the belly or rest them on your knees, wherever is comfortable for you. And we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, hold for 2. And it goes like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2. Anyhow, you get the idea. And this would be a first introduction class. We'd begin again real quick recap by starting a baseline, measuring people's breathing IQ, figuring out what breathing style they're breathing in, what, like, giving them an assessment on what it is that they're doing wrong, giving a quick intro, trying to figure out when did this happen for them, and of course they figure this out by themselves over time as well. And then we give an intro into the biomechanics of breathing. How does it work? What is affected? We talk specifically about the diaphragm and about the nervous system, the vagus nerve, and then we would go about doing the breathing exercises and end with a calming breath. And yeah, I hope you like this breathing class. Yeah, hope to be teaching more. Ciao.